With me and Luke, I think it's who goes 9 for 9. Like my game plan, I don't mind saying it out loud because like it's not going to make a difference that you're either strong enough or you're not, even if you talk about it. My game plan is to go 3 for 3 in squats. Like I squat 365 today. After a taper, I'm always good for about 10 more kilos after when I manage fatigue. Bench 230, 227.5 to kind of stay in there. And then when it comes to the deadlift, Luke's going to shit the bed there because he hasn't done a deadlift to comp spec over 320. And yeah, I'm going to take it on the deadlift 100%. Could be on the second one, could be on the third, I don't know. But yeah, he's going to bollocks the deadlift. I've said it before, he is a one-trick pony when it comes down to it. If he was benching, like say, an average 90 kilo, 100 kilo lifter is benching 180, 190, he'd just be a nobody, like, you know what I mean? With the lifts, with the squat and the deadlift. If he was doing 180, 190, 200 even, he wouldn't have enough fucking dots for the competition for the Abs Pro, like, so. He does rely a lot on the bench, and he's going to suffer for that big time on the day. Oh, of course I would, yeah. Yeah, like, I'll be surprised if he wins, I'm not going to joke, like. My only fear this time is going to be fucking too easy, the progress I've made in the last while. Like, the way his training has gone in the last month, he really needs a coach, and I can help him out afterwards if he needs it. I'll coach him for free, teach him how to deadlift, teach him how to squat properly, all the good stuff, you know. He can give me a few bench tips if he wants, you know. How to make my arm 6 inches shorter so I've at least let clock out. But yeah, I'm actually not even messing with you. I think it's going to be too easy on the day. Not even messing. Like, I've never been so confident. My training has never been so well. I know I talked a lot of shit the last time saying I'm firing all cylinders. I wasn't. I was fucking training with shite back then. And I still nearly won it. 60%, 70%, I still nearly won it. So I'm coming in fucking 110% this time. And Luke is not coming in 110. He's put on 10 kilos in body weight and he's got weaker. So it's going to be easy, unless he decides to shit the bed again and cut to 89. Still going to lose anyway, but like, yeah, it's going to be a morale record for him, shall we say. I don't think he will quit, but he needs to sort stuff out after this competition if he loses again. Like, I don't understand, like, what training block is he following, what training method is he following. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I think he just looks at what I'm doing and adds 2.5 kilos to it, looking at my training. I think that's what his plan is. Or to do an extra set and pretend he done it with 2.1 when he done one set. Like, I don't understand it. So, yeah, he needs to sort himself out after this competition when he gets bet by a good bit, because it was always coming. It was always coming. Yeah, I actually would love to, if he was. His squat is not going too bad at the minute. His 352.5 was good now, I'll give him that, and it was deep. But that deadlift is lagging an awful bit behind. And he's like, for such a big bencher as well, he doesn't even bench the comp spec in training. His arse comes off the bench as well. So, yeah, if he does 325 deadlifts on the day, I'd be surprised, not even joking. His deadlift has went bad in training. He was like, oh, I'll do a big bench tomorrow to make me feel better, you know. He'd say stuff like that. So, like, if that's not an indication that you only rely on your bench, then what is? Like, yeah, like, I think I'm pretty good on all 3 lifts, you know. They're kind of straight across the board. They're all as good as each other. So, like, I'm a good total builder. And, you know, just, it is how it is. When it comes to my best lift and Luke's worst lift, it's not a good recipe for him at all. Yeah, like, when it comes to Luke, it's not even personal, you know. Just as a fella, he seems like a lovely fella, but like I was saying, to be the best and want to be the best, you have to be a ruthless cunt, and it's going to come and terrorise him on the day. I think I was too focused on Luke. I think everybody was. They were all just saying it was going to be me and Luke, and, you know, me and Luke obviously believed it as well. But Dave obviously had his own game plan and came in and took it. But I knew Dave would do well. Like, his training was looking phenomenal. He's a great lifter, but I didn't think he was going to beat us. And he came in and just like mugged the 2 of us off. But yeah, like, if it was this competition and it was for dots again, I'd be comfortable to beat both of them, no problem. I'd like Josh Edwards. I'd like if he was able to hold on to a deadlift, you know. Like, I'm not saying nothing bad, but like, he failed his opener. He didn't score deadlift on the day. So I think if he put together a good performance, could get 3rd, 2nd, Because anything can happen on the day. I could fuck it, Luke can fuck it. He could win, do you know, that's just the way it goes. And you showed me this Tom.
Yeah, Tom's right at the...
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a few of his videos, like, big squatter, benches miles off it, like if he's going to be coming in against me and Luke. And deadlifting straps, which is very sus. You're deadlifting top singles and straps, there's a reason for it, you know. You obviously can't hold on to the bar. If you could, you'd be lifting without straps, so it's just the way it is. Alex would not take my shit at all. I'd say, like, I'd move something like dirt and I'd think 20 kilos extra, and he'd be like, nah, you'd be lucky to even get 2.5 extra on top of that. And just like, taking his advice, even though I'm really crying about it at the start, really did help and like rein me back mentally and check my ego more so than anything. Like, to kind of get to the top of anything, you have to be a bit of a ruthless cunt. You kind of have to be. You have to be selfish. You have to put yourself first. Like, anyone that says like, oh, the only way to be known as this person, that person in the strength community is like giving back. But like, to be the strongest person, it's like, you have to be a selfish, ruthless bastard. Just the way it is, like. Oh, 100%. I do better by myself. I put my headphones in, stopping and starting talking to people in between sets. You get to the bar and like fucking 60% is feeling like debt on your back because you were talking 20 minutes to some fucking idiot. Yeah, by myself, training has skyrocketed. And I think that's down to just like put my headphones in, they don't come out till I'm done training, simple as that. I do get mostly respect, but then there's a lot of people then that will like say, oh, it's all steroids and you can't do it the proper way and all this shit. But like, I put a post up there recently, I said, like, people don't take in consideration that we take steroids against other untested people that are taking steroids too. And if you can beat people that are taking God knows what, and I'm not even gonna brag, like, but I take very, very minimal stuff. And like, I don't need that much, you know. I take it for the recovery aspect more than anything. And still beating people on gear, you know. These people that are fucking coming dead last in IPF competitions or natural competitions, saying that they'd be doing the same numbers as you if they were taking stuff. Like, if you were swimming in a batter trend, you wouldn't even fucking get nowhere near it. I think it's more just ignorance more so than anything. It's just like, you see someone in better shape, steroids, you know, it's a common norm just to see someone that looks after himself and just, like, you could be in bad shape or weak or whatever, to say, oh sure, he's on steroids, you know what I mean? Just, yeah, like, going back to your question, I get mostly respect off people, but then a few wankers that will say it's all steroids, you know. But it's normal. I welcome that as well, you know. Yeah, I think it would solidify it, because there's still a lot of people doubting, you know, because they'll always have their own opinions. Like, up in Dublin, you know, like, there'd be favouritism towards Jake because he's the first one to do 1,000. They wouldn't kind of take into consideration that, like pound for pound, like you were saying. But I've bet Jake plenty of times. The likes of, you said Barry is the only Irish lifter to win the Abs Pro. I'd love he's still competing now, so I could just beat him as well and make it official, because some people will still say, oh, if Barry was still lifting, he'd be doing this and that, but he's not, like, you know. Like, it's not my fault he stopped. I got stronger and he stopped. Like, when I do this total in dots, I'll be up close to 600 dots. So I'll be doing about 970, 980 the way training has been trending, I think, on the day. So that could be, after I do another building block and my next total could be well over 1,000, that could be podiuming at the American Pro, or possibly winning, depending on, because there is a lot of bottle jobs in America. A lot of smoke and mirrors lifters that are doing like these numbers on deadlift bar, and then some of them are doing like 100 pounds less on the day. So like, there is easy pickings in America. They are like very strong, great lifters, but like too many egos, which is there for the taking as well. Yeah, I feel good under 110, you know what I mean? I just, if I went over 120 to do 1,000 or something like that, I wouldn't feel good in myself. I feel good under 110, still get stronger. Like, I don't ever want to get to like a super heavyweight 140 plus. That just doesn't align with what I want to do. Like, and I can still fucking do the bag, go for a little jog if I want to at this body weight. Like, I'm still mobile, just, and strong, so it just suits me down to the ground. I don't know, like, I hope people still, like, if I'm doing, I'll still be coming back to Ireland to do competitions, but like, say if I done like 1,000 in America, like, I don't know if some begrudge that, yeah, you only doing that because the American competitions aren't the same standard as here. Do you know what? I don't know, like, I hope not, but like, even if it was just in an American soil, like would they count it in Ireland as being this or that? I just hope what I do in America will stand over here as well, and not just be like, oh, he's only done this since he went to America kind of thing. Like you can see that with the strong English boys over there as well. They're getting invited to the pros every year, and they'll say, oh, we'll think about it, or we're going to do it, and then it gets closer and they don't even reply to messages. Like I was talking to Jer said he was talking to Chris Pugh and Dale Longford, and he said they'd love to do it, but then just don't do it. So tells you all need to know, if it's every year they're going to the Irish Pro, going over winning money there, but then when it comes to like the proper standard of competing against us, I think they'll know they'll lose about 50 kilo off their squat, minimum 40, 50 kilos. I'd love to see them do it and prove us wrong, you know, because they actually are strong. But if you're not squatting to fucking death, like it's not a squat. They get so anxious to think they're going to be stitched up. I think they're going to be stitched up, because I accepted the pro invite before. I had loads of people like that were doing, like, you know, that weren't doing the abs competitions telling me you're going to be stitched up and made an example of and all this mad stuff. And like I went 1 for 3 in squats just because I wasn't strong enough to fucking get my third. But yeah, you're not going to get stitched up. If you're strong enough to win a comp, you're going to win it, like simple as that. No one's going to stitch you up. I want to take the abs record, like, of dots anyway, like overall. Male, I think Denise Herber is like 600 and something, so that won't be happening. But like male dots, I hope to. Dave is the highest 557 or 577. Yeah, I hope to beat the all-time dots record. I'm definitely on track for that. And under terrible circumstances now, after what you told me about Eamon, I want to break the Irish deadlift record as well now in comp. Like, even if Eamon was competing, I still would have fancied myself to kind of do 380 plus or whatever anyway, if I needed to do it. But yeah, I want to break the Irish deadlift records. I've been saying that for a long time now. And it's definitely the strongest I've ever been, so perfect time to do it. And I don't want to make it look like fucking Jack Kenny broke it. Now I'm like taking it. It's been an Irish deadlift record for like a long time, hasn't it? 6-7 years now, is it? And then I suddenly become strong enough to break because Jack Kenny breaks it. Like, it's not because of that. It's just like I just wanted to beat Luke, and it's coincided that way. Yeah, because I have great time for Jack Kenny, and yeah, that's a fucking mad pull. 375.5 as a natural. Doesn't matter what body weight you are, or like natural to do that. It's fucking, yeah, stiff bar. No, yeah. And you look like 20 more kilos there if you needed it. If you needed to do if you needed 400, I wouldn't even doubt him. You know what I mean? So yeah, Jack Kenny's 375.5 was definitely the greatest feat of strength I've seen in a long time. The abs competitions are bigger than any American comp. I think the abs pro in like 2 or 3 years is going to be the competition to travel to in the world. Like that's the way it's going, and I think that's the plan you probably have in your mind, is to make the competition in the world. Like Ghost Clash was just a local meet with big lifters at it. That's what it looked like to me. I'm not knocking it or anything, but Ghost Clash there was no lights, there was no ambience, there was no environment. It's like people are forced to be in the crowd even, you know. But the American Pro, I like the look of that. I like the way they have the backdrop of every lifter and like their stats, all that kind of cool stuff. But for standard, I think the Abs Pro is going to be the biggest competition in the world to go to eventually. Oh, I think it's brilliant. Like for people like Jake that say no maths required and you can just go in and do total, it's good for the heavier lads that don't like formula or whatever. But I think it's looking like it's going to be close enough. I think if Jake put together his best day, I think he could win it. If he could deadlift 360 on the day, I was saying to you before, Jay, I think he could win it if he puts together his perfect day. Dave Richardson is just so stubborn. I think he's just going to chip at anybody what they're doing, and like he done the last time, he was kind of in the shadows, just like chipping me and Luke. We didn't even know about it. So yeah, it won't be as quiet this time because he's one of the favourites. But like he was able to get away with it the last time, and kind of hide in the shadows and chip away. But I think Dave's going to be up there. I was thinking either Dave or Jake for total. Like, even though Dave out-totaled Jake last time, Jake had like 60 kilos less than he thought he was going to have. So if he can put that together in the day, it's going to be a good battle, shall we say, anyway. Yeah, he done 415 very, very well. And like Mason Mills was saying that his his deadlifts were soft knees and all this. And they were until I seen that 415 and he was like, fuck you, and he was there holding it and there was no soft knees. I don't think you should like poke a wounded animal like that if you don't want him to win, you know what I mean? Yeah, like if you think this lad's going to bottle it, just tell him he's brilliant or say nothing, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's the way it's going to be, isn't it? I think people are ruling Jake out now because he's fucked the deadlift so many times. And he's going against like 400 kilo pullers now. He's long overdue it now, Jake, at this stage. Like, now is as good a time as anything. It's like, it's total only. I think that's a very positive mentally for him, I think, as well, going into it, knowing that just like, if I'm strong enough to win this, I'll fucking win it. Not like, you know, lads like us that are lighter, that are going to win it on dots or whatever. He has that in his head and he's like, what's the point? That does come into your head, I suppose, as well. Oh yeah, all the Limerick lads are great support. Daniel Walczek always comes and helps me as well. I don't even have to ask him. He'll just hover around and come over. He's like, do you want help? And I'm like, if you want, you know. Daniel's a great lad. He's always there on hand to help anybody. So he wrapped my knees. He's going to wrap my knees again. So when I actually get someone else to wrap my knees, I get a lot more out of squats compared to doing them myself. Because every time I wrap my knees, it's always different tightnesses on one leg, or it could be up higher or lower on the other leg. So I've just been winging my knee wraps for the last while. So I could squat God knows what on the day with a proper knee wrap. I go into autopilot. I don't even think about what I'm doing really. Like, obviously I know what I'm doing subconsciously, but like when I get to the bar, it's just like, remember how it moved the last time, it moved really well, do that again. And I don't even have to think about it. Nothing is like the same as last time. It just happens and I do it. It's simple as that. I don't have any kind of traditions or like little ticks like you were saying. No superstitions. No. Oh, pulling 370 for the first time in competition. Like, the competition was already won on the second one, but to pull 370, I've missed that so many times in training at the end of the blocks and for years. Such a big mental block. 7 reds on the bar. I'd always fucking miss it. I'd do 350 like an RP5 and I'd do 370 next and just get it to here. And it's 370 definitely. And the 370 was the first time I ever done it in the gym as well. So that's definitely a big mental block in the gym. So yeah, 370 deadlift used to scare the shit out of me. Not anymore. Oh yeah, it's integrated really well. Like, I've got a lot of people messaging me saying that like they can't wait just for it's going to be such a good day. Like, it's going to be, you know, I'm not even going to say it in a bad way, but you know, you go like, and there's Division fucking 2 in the morning and then like the Pro-Ams in the evening. Like, it's a very, very long day waiting for the big lifts, shall we say, you know what I mean? I'm not even saying that in a bad way, but like when there's quality and then quality after that again, it's just very user friendly as well. It's going to be nothing but fucking big lifts from lighter fellas and big fellas. Like, me and Luke are probably going to have totally a good few with the Clash lads. Oh, I think like with the Clash and the Pro together, I think this is bigger than any Pro so far with the quality. Like, in the kind of warm-up event we have me, Luke, Josh Edwards and fucking Tom Driver, is that his name? Like, that's 900 plus, 4 lads going 900 plus in the kind of prelim, shall we say, you know what I mean? And then you have fucking, I don't even know how many lads going for 1,000. So it's definitely bigger. Definitely the biggest it's been. Because it's still the same faces at the Pro, coming just in different categories. So yeah, but it's lined up to be better. So I think it's going to be the best so far. I think I've basically said everything. I think I said too much about Luke. I feel bad. I hope they can beat my dots that I set now in 2 weeks' time. Even though they won't. It's going to be too high for them. So this will be my last competition in Ireland for the rest of the year anyway. And I'm hoping to break the Irish deadlift record and the abs all-time dots record. That's what I want to do before I go to America. And it's definitely very achievable, shall we say. Very confident about doing it. That's all I have to say. See you all in 16 days, boys.
Awesome.